let's look at our review for our interim tomorrow. Number 1, what are 2 structures that plant cells have and animal cells do not?
Chloroplast and cell wall.
Woo, I heard it. Very good. He said chloroplasts and cell wall very quickly. I heard someone else speak up too. If you feel like you said it, let Miss Neighbors know.
Bigger vacuole.
They do have a bigger vacuole. You are right. And another thing to know is that usually in a plant cell, that vacuole is centrally located. That really big one, it's usually right in the middle. In an animal cell, they're smaller and they're kind of just all over. You're not going to have a really big one at the center. Number 2. This one's going to be hard to blurt. So you are welcome to blurt which one has a nucleus and which one does not. Okay, I heard it. So we got prono. It would look something like that. And we got you do. And it's going to look something like all these other little organelles in there, but we definitely have a nucleus. You do. My E's just funny.
Good morning, pirates. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, so let's look now at number 3. What 2 functions do a cell wall and cell membrane perform in a plant cell? Structural support, I heard that one.
Structural support and I don't got it.
Transportation, yes. So the way that I'd like for you to word this is restricting molecules.
Is it an R?
Yes. Entering and exiting. Restricting molecules entering and exiting the cell, and it maintains size and shape. Restricting molecules entering and exiting and maintaining size and shape. Transmembrane proteins span the width of a cell membrane. What is the function of these proteins? What do transmembrane proteins do? They're helping the cell what?
They help interact with the environment.
Yes, ma'am. They help the cell interact with the environment. Help the cell interact with the environment. Number 5, a cell smaller than 5 micrometers with no nucleus is what type of cell? Prokaryote. A cell larger than 10 micrometers with a nucleus. I heard it. So eukaryote. Very good. All right, let's look now at number 7. The function of an enzyme in a biochemical reaction is to what?
Speed.
Yes, to speed up the rate of the reaction. That is good, Alex. You can have tickets for that. Did y'all hear the word that Alex said? The fancy word for speed up is catalyst. If you start with one substrate and one enzyme, then you will end up with 2 substrates and 1 enzyme. For example, if I had something that looked like this, it underwent a reaction, then I can expect my products to look like that. It broke it apart rather than combined it together. Number 9. For an enzyme to be able to catalyze a reaction, the active site must have a exact match is one way you can say it. Is anybody else, can you think of another word? So the word that we would use here complementary. Complementary shape. And they are an exact match. Number 10, enzymes are proteins that have a 3D shape that is specific to a particular substrate. Environmental conditions can change the shape of the protein. What is the most likely result if the shape of an enzyme changes?
I think it's,
Will it work?
no.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So the enzyme no longer able to catalyze the reaction with the substrate. It's not going to work anymore because the shapes don't match. They're no longer complementary at this point. Enzyme no longer able to catalyze the reaction with the substrate. Number 11. Is food coloring color change a chemical reaction that creates a new substance? No. Because no new substance was formed. That even though the color changed, it doesn't matter. You can have a color change and it not be a chemical reaction. You can have a gas and it not be a chemical reaction. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just be sure you get the review questions you miss when you get back from a neighbor. Number 12. Who can tell me what is the chemical change that occurs to food in the stomach? Yes, ma'am.
The digestive system, right?
Yeah. And so if we're going to put that in words, we could say it is a chemical reaction. We could say breakdown.
The acids break it.
Yeah, the acid specifically. Breakdown of molecules of food by enzymes, because you have enzymes in your saliva, and lactic acid, that's in your stomach. Breakdown of molecules of food by enzymes. Amylase specifically is in your saliva, and lactic acid in your stomach. Who can tell me the two main components of cell theory? It will be in your Cornell notes if you wanted to look. Do you know it, Julie?
Everything is composed of cells.
Do you know the other part?
All things are made of cells.
All things are made of cells. That's one part.
Oh,
Cells
living
come from
things.
others.
Yes.
Oh.
All living things made of cells, and cells come from pre-existing cells. Now, it's going to be almost impossible for you to see me right at the bottom, so I'm going to answer this next one up in the margin to the right. Who can tell me the name of the organelle used to take energy from sunlight and make sugar? Chloroplast. So the name here is chloroplast. If I were to draw a chloroplast, it's going to look something like this. So I think there's little things in a chloroplast that to me look like stacks of pancakes. So I've got my organelle there. It's like it's cut open, and the dots you see on the inside are like little stacks of green pancakes. So the answer to that last one, 14, is chloroplast, and then draw this drawing. We've only got one more question. And then the way that we'll spend the remainder of our day is that practice Kahoot. So once you're done with this review, put it in a safe place to go home with you tonight so you can get that parent signature, and then we're going to move into our Kahoot. Again, for house points and tickets. Is anyone still writing from what's on my screen? Okay, I'll give you a few more minutes. We've got one question left, so don't put that review away yet. We do have two. No, we just did 14.
No, there's 15.
Oh, there's 16. I see it. All right, moving on now to the last two questions. Number 15. Who can tell me what is the function of a cell wall? That's the cell membrane. Provides structure. Who can tell me the function of a vacuole? Yeah. So vacuole is going to be stores and transports molecules. So cell wall provides structure. vacuole, stores, and transports molecules. All right, so this last question, you can see you've got a word bank, and then you've got a diagram denoted by numbers. Who can tell me what word in this word bank should go where we have number 2 written? What is this entire thing? This is an animal cell. So I'm going to put a 2 by animal cell. Who can tell me what word should go in number 1? So that's the mitochondria. What do we know that mitochondria does?
It's the
Powerhouse, which means it provides what?
Energy for cell function.
There we go. So that should be number 1. And then number 3. What do you think that is? They look like little voids.
Control selectivity.
That's not the nucleus. The nucleus is going to be that big thing in the center with all the
captures energy from the sunlight.
This is an animal cell. Yes, storage and transport is going to be number 3. So the whole thing is an animal cell. My mighty mitochondria over here provide energy, and these 2 things are vacuoles, which store and transport molecules. Go ahead and put that warm up away somewhere safe. You may, review. You may take out your Chromebook, and I'll put the code for the Kahoot up on the screen in just a moment.